You have given me the access, right? So can you see the screen?
I can see clouds.
Oh, wait. Can you see it now?
Not yet. Okay. Hopefully now you should be able to share the screen.
Okay. Let me try. Is it now visible?
It is, yes.
Okay. So let's talk about reflective practices. We do it a lot at home. I mean, anywhere in the group, we will do it. So it is more of an interactive session. So let's just collect our views about everything around reflection. So if we can share as a group, like what is self-reflection for all of us, that would be great. Because this is about my own definition of self-reflection. So if you can just have a quick share, I'll start with mine. I see reflection as more of seeing myself or meeting myself, what patterns I have, how many layers I have, what are my beliefs. At times, I don't want to correct anything, but I just want to see myself through a different mirror. That's how I see reflection is.
Okay, for me, I have always self-reflected in terms of the emotions that I have at that time, and kind of jotting them down. So that's what I mean by self-reflection.
Basically, seeing your emotional patterns.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it is jotting down my experience and then, what could have been better, what went well, what did not go well.
Oh, okay. Naveen, Jigar, Ankur, do you want to share anything?
Mm,
It's
yes, it's. Please go ahead.
yeah. So what for me it was more like a kind of like the retro kind of thing, like looking back, and also in terms of like what happened in the past, look at the future and like try to compare like what are those possible things. Kind of self-realization maybe. Uh,
Yeah,
Mm.
for me, it's maybe the expression. Yeah, I try to write. So in my writing, I can see my subconscious reflections. My
Mm.
truth, normally I don't know about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, it is going back in time, understanding what the situation was, what my response to the stimuli was, and then being critical about whether it was a learning opportunity for me or it was just regular response in terms of what was the situation. So that's self-reflection. Thanks.
Cool. So if we see, most of us talk about self-reflection in terms of looking back, right? So one thing I would like to share today is reflection is not always about looking back. Reflection can be pre-planned also, and we can do it while we are into something, or we can pre-plan it and we can observe ourselves during the day. So it is not necessarily has to be related to whatever has happened. So that is one thing we will see today, and it comes out very interesting at times. Second, all of us mostly relate reflection with the like emotions, experiences, or self-realization. But very rarely we connect reflection with unusual things. So that also we will cover. Now, before I jump to those topics, how it so why self-reflection is needed? It is, as everybody shared their experiences, it is needed to basically course correct, or just to look for yourself, deeply into yourself, or deep into your subconscious, or revisit your experiences. So if you see, we do reflection very often. Let us say if we go to a restaurant, we come back and we talk about, okay, how was the food? It is an invariable reflective process which we do. We watch a movie and we talk about movie. That is also a reflective process. But that is not how we talk about our everyday actions in reflection terms. So at times we do reflection invariably, but for me, the way it has changed my life drastically is if I pre-plan and design my reflection and then see how I'm heading to. And that becomes very interesting, especially within the family. So we will cover that. So that is okay. When do we do reflection? Frequency, you can decide. It can be for a day, it can be week, quarter, months. You can decide on what parameters you want to do and how often do you want to do. So that is really not of that much importance, right? At times, we reflect, let us say, me and my son, if we want to reflect about our mood, so we track our reflection for the time of the day, like morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So that frequent also it can be, which is fine. Now, we were talking about designing our own reflection. So if we see this, how can we pre-design the reflection? We can look at these things like what is important to me, what needs attention, or what was missing. If we look ourselves, we know few things, and around these things, we can design our reflection. I'll give you an idea how. Let us say, if we feel that we are not moving much in a day, or we are having a sedentary lifestyle, let us say. So we can observe ourselves during the day by creating a reflective prompt. How many times I moved to get my things on my own? How many times I asked others to, let us say, if I tell my son, can you please give me a glass of water? I'm missing an opportunity for a moment here. It is just making me aware that I'm missing on my movement action. And let us say, few things we don't consider. So let us say sports. Sport is a very, very competitive thing. And we are always, let us say, working or looking at the opponents in a different angle. So if kindness is important to me, so can I mix kindness with sport? Or I can say, was I kind during my game? So those unusual things you can mix and match. And if you design your reflection prompts consciously like this, it becomes more purposeful. Today, we will design reflection prompts also in the later half, but this is just to give an idea. Okay, so how you guys reflect usually? I mean, what medium do you choose to reflect?
Paper and pen, like write down.
Okay, so basically writing, which is verbal.
Also, the emojis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is also kind of verbal, basically pictorial, right?
And I also use an app.
Okay. So it is related to something writing, reading, saying that the app is related to?
Yes.
So it comes under verbal category, right?
Okay.
Okay. Any other? In verbal, you can have journaling and then your writing. In fact, letter writing is an effective tool. You write letter to yourself, let us say. So letter writing is a very effective tool for verbal tools of reflection. Any other verbal tool you are using? Okay, so verbal tool comes as a talking. Talking is also like we share our mind with others and a reflective process. Blogging, poetry, all these are different verbal tools. Even thinking, for that matter, is a verbal tool because we think in a language. So it is a verbal tool. Now, very rarely we use non-verbal tools of reflection. So if you see, as a family, if we use different tools for reflection, it becomes very interesting. What happens? we start reflection and it becomes very bore, especially for a group, if we keep on using the same thing. Let us say, okay, I want to speak about it, okay, I want to write about it. It loses the charm over a period. And reflection is something which one needs to keep on working throughout. So time, in the sense ki you should do it most of the days. And it should be then very joyful activity. So let us bring some non-verbal tools. So we use puppets, we use dance, we use role play. Role play is extremely effective medium for reflection, where, two people are exchanging roles. So if you just see, if you in a family, you are doing this with some reflection prompt and you are playing a role of, let us say, your spouse, it really helps you to empathize with others' viewpoint, because now you are playing that role. So please try to use lot of non-verbal tools. As of now, I have not mentioned here, but I have taken names of few, like puppetry, dance, theater, role play. These are all non-verbal tools. One in verbal tool, we use photo collage. So we take pictures from different magazines or newspaper, and we reflect through those pictures and we stick as a group. So that becomes your photo collage. And it is only to bring the newness to our reflection process so that it doesn't become bored. Another thing we do for reflection is, as far as how to do reflection, we use quantitative reflection. So other tools I am sharing, quantitative and qualitative tools. So in quantitative tools, let us say we use rubrics. You can make both qualitative and quantitative. I'm going to show you. Then you can use data collection and plot the data along the chart or a graph or whatever way you want to represent the data. Then you have ratings. So basically, you can create your rating ladder. So if you see, these are the various reflection tools can be used: rating, grading, color code, mood meter, metaphor, cause and effect, and rubrics. So let us say this is a rating ladder. Here, the interesting part is, let us say this I do a lot with my son. So last week, again, we took it up. So this bucket represents our day. And whenever we are wasting time and we are not executing our plan for the day, we call it a leakage. Okay, wasting time can be in many ways. We are not specifying that, but we feel, I mean, it is my son's choice or my choice when I call it a leakage. So on this ladder, I have leakages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, it represents how many hours I wasted. And for each leakage, I have given a rating. And it is my ladder will be my rating. His ladder will be his rating, let us say. So for me, it is like this. If I have wasted 1 to 2 hours, my rating will be 9. It is very less in the day, something like that. Now, in this, what happens is, it is very open and you are deciding for yourself. Nobody is pressurizing you that what should be your rating. You are giving. So it brings a very deep consciousness in you. What am I doing? You may lie also, that's fine. But that consciousness of lying will be there. So that is one rating ladder. This is cause and effect. We are all aware of fishbone diagrams. So basically, you reflect on a day. What was my action and what was the effect of it? What was my action? What was my effect of it? You can write. I mean, I would suggest one thing: don't clutter your reflection with lot of things. Just take 3 or 4 big actions and see the impact of it. So write it down. And it can not just be action, it can be people, it can be your desires or wishes. So let us say if you want something, okay, I want to purchase this, what would be effect of it? So something like that, you can have a cause and effect diagram. A variation of this can be, let us say you have written one action. Okay, I have done this. Okay, I have eaten one plate full of junk food. Effect of this. And now in what if as a variation, you can say, what if I would have divided my food into half plate of good food and half plate of junk food, what would have been the effect? So that would be the variation. That is up to you. You want to take it or not. But this brings lot of interesting features of our thinking. This is data plotting. You can use chart, graph, anything. So here, how many push-ups I did in 1 minute, let us say. So here are the dates, here are number of push-ups, and you just plot a graph. Again, this is done by an individual in a group so that they are getting aware, how am I doing on a day-to-day basis. These are your normal rating or grading. You can define your own parameters. Please remember, in reflection, it is very important to define one's own parameters and the success or failure parameters as well. I don't have to define it for anyone. For me, here in the rate, it can be very high. It's fine with me. Then you can play some games or point a location, especially with children, this goes very well. So let us say we use dice a lot, multiple dice or single dice, and then we take whatever parameters we have drawn for the day or taken for the day, we rate ourselves, let us say 1 point, 2 point. And with the dice, you can say, okay, I got 5 in dice. To which of these I want to assign 5 marks? To which of these I want to assign 1 mark? Something like this. So this can become very interesting. This is very interesting as a metaphor. Reflection becomes very interesting as a metaphor. So we use quite a few metaphors for reflection, like we use this as an electric circuit, let us say. So where I felt resistance, where I was insulating myself from being influenced, where I was allowing the current to flow, where my battery was full, who was fueling my battery. So you can use these metaphors and create your reflection prompts and write your reflection or enact your reflection, whatever way you want to do it. In fact, this one specifically we did actually with the electrical circuit. So it was very fun exercise to do. We use other metaphors like, let us say, a vehicle. So in a vehicle, what was the headlight of the week? What was the brakes in the week? How many times I saw in the rear view mirror? How many times I accelerated? Who breaks my speed? Where I felt the speed breaker. So those kind of metaphors one can use. These are rubrics. Rubrics are very interesting. It depends on how you define the rubric. So what happens is rubrics fall both into quantitative and qualitative. So let us say the first part. Okay, here we are not doing anything quantitative. It is my perception of myself, whether I am satisfied with this parameter or not. And this is where I'll mark it. But if you see the second part, it is pretty much I'm giving rating to myself. So this becomes quantitative. While designing your rubric, just remember one thing, keep it, if you really want to rate yourself, keep it very detailed. If you don't want to do it, it is a simple one-liner would be of good use. So those are 2 rubrics. Okay, this is very important, though they look something small to keep in mind, but for me, it plays a big role. So when we do reflection, one has to remember that let us create a safe space for all of us whenever we reflect. We are not judging here anyone. It is for a person, for themselves to know themselves better. We have no attachment to our agenda at this point of time. If at all I have an agenda, I have to keep it to myself. Let us say, if I want to become better at something, I will keep it to myself. I will not attach that agenda with the group. Or let us say, especially with the children, we feel, I want to make this thing better in my child. And we try to enforce those kind of reflection during our reflection process, which is not good. Let the child realize by themselves what they are good at or what they are not good at it. Then keep it open-ended. I would say don't come with very close prompts for reflection, because then it is attaching with your agenda. If you keep it open, I will give an example how to keep it open, but keep it open for everything, open-ended questions, open-ended prompts. This will help to bring in everybody's interpretation in the group. Like, let us say values. So values for me, dishonesty may be not such a big problem, let us say, but for Jatin, it may be of big problem. So it is his way of looking at honesty or dishonesty. So we have to keep it open and without judgment. And don't correct anything while doing the reflection. So this is a very important point, because we are in this habit of doing rights and wrongs. We treat everything as a right or wrong. Reflection, actually our reflection is influenced a lot by Jiddu Krishnamurti's reflective processes. And Jiddu Krishnamurti says it clearly that reflection is purely to meet yourself. It has nothing to do with correction, nothing. Correction happens over the time when you keep on observing yourself till the time it becomes your habit. Then correction happens automatically. Don't run behind the correction. So this was the last thing. Now, before we create our reflection prompt, one thing I just want to share is, just a minute. So whatever we have done, this was my sketch note long back I did for reflective practices. So it is almost, I can post this in the group also. This is the same thing we talked about, various tools, how reflection helps, why reflection is needed. And as we talked about unconscious reflection, which we do invariably, and the conscious reflection, which we design, which we are going to do right now, and what is reflection. So
Kanupriya, looks like your screen sharing went away.
oh, is it?
No, I can see it. I
Oh,
can see the sketch note that Kanupriya is sharing.
right.
Okay. Shall I stop and
And,
do it
and
again?
anybody else facing the same issue?
No, I am able to see it actually.
Yeah, maybe I made some.
Okay, good for me
Please
as
go
well.
ahead. Yeah.
Thanks.
Are you okay, Kumar?
Yeah.
Okay. So this I'll share in the group. And one thing, when we design the reflective prompts, especially if you're designing it for yourself, of course you have to do, but in a group, let everybody take the responsibility to design the prompt so that everybody understands the reflection process. And there are few ways to do it. One, what we do is, we create lot of parameters and we fill up in the jar, and somebody picks up the chit, something like that. Or we also use, wait, I'll show. We also use this wheel, the wheel of choice. It is online. So we create this wheel with the hand also, and we do this. So there are various prompts I have inserted. And so let us say wherever it is coming, cautious, right? So we take this for today. So this becomes very interesting, because it is not like, okay, I am just bringing my own thing because I may be having an agenda to improve on this. So it becomes very generic. And same way, we have created on how part also the same way. Like how so let us say if I'm selecting a prompt, the how part, how I want to do the reflection today, through doodles, through journaling, through your emojis, through your, puppetry, through theater, how part also we can create a choice board. So it is all up to you. Let us say we wait. Okay, so let us take a reflective prompt as excitement. Let us say, for example. So come up with how do you want to take excitement as a reflective prompt? Let us say for me, thoughts excite me. According to me, thoughts excite me. So whole day, let us say, I will be aware of which thoughts excite me. Okay. And now I want to doodle those thoughts. How part will be the doodling part, let us say. So I will doodle those thoughts. So this is how I'm preparing my reflective prompt. Now, anybody else can come up with their own prompt with the excitement. What excites you?
In terms of reflecting prompt?
Yeah, we are creating our own prompt. I created my own prompt. For me, excitement is about thoughts. So I will see which thoughts excited me today, and at the end of the day, I'll doodle them, because doodle is my how process for today. So what excites you? Or what part of excitement you want to consider for today's reflection?
Okay, listening to podcast. Is that
Oh.
the correct?
So I will tell you, this is where we are talking about being very specific. So when you say podcasts, podcasts are nothing but thoughts, right? So when you say podcast, you have made it very close-ended, because everybody in the group may not be interested in listening to podcast or something like that. So you can say thoughts, or at times sound. So what sounds excite me, let us say? Actually, podcast is nowhere related to sound. I am telling you how to make it more generic.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So basically, how can we enjoy it as a group, right? Because we are in a group setting. Okay.
So for you alone, it can be close-ended or open-ended, doesn't matter, because you're doing it alone. So
Right.
for you alone, Kumar, podcast is a good thing. If it is exciting you, you can think, okay, what kind of podcast excite me? Which category of podcast excite me? And then you can doodle it as a how part. But if you're doing in the group, some people may not be interested in podcasts.
So Kanupriya, music would be part of it, like music would be a generic one.
Yeah, then people, yes, music can be a generic one, but then people can come up with their own. Okay, I like folk music. This is the rhythm it excites me. Okay,
Correct.
I like jazz, so that excites me. That can be, but still, I would say go by sound. Then some people can say, okay, jazz excites me, but at the same time, bird chirping also excites me. So you are all of a sudden, when you tell about sound, your horizon is very broad now. Music is a good prompt. Of course, it has multiple categories, so you can go with it. But I'm telling you the difference between the sound and the music.
So do we pick like one of the five senses, like sound excites me, or no, some visuals excites me?
Yeah, you can, because then it will be very generic, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you can take any. So let us say actions excite me. So I will see which actions excited me throughout the day. Action is very generic term. I like people, who swim, let us say. So that swimming action excites me. The splashing of water excites me. Or doing excites me. So what doing did excite me throughout the day? Or seeing someone doing something which excited me today. So what happens? More you do, more you explore your own layers. Because we don't realize, we are very, very much logged into ourselves, and we see very limited things. Any other for excitement?
Travel.
Okay, travel excites you, then very good. So travel is very open-ended prompt, right? What part of traveling excites you? Some people say, okay, planning for traveling excites me. Some people can say, exploring hilly areas excite me. Some people say, culture in the travel excites me. And then you can see, okay, wherever I have traveled, can I draw that as a doodle? Because doodle is my how part for today. Okay, so let us change the prompt. Let us pick values. So I gave an example with values. Let us say honesty and dishonesty may not be same for everyone. So, okay, it was not my cheat day, but still I ate ice cream. So I was being dishonest, fine. I'm okay with that. So it is my honesty actually, that at least I'm saying I have eaten, though I cheated. but I have eaten. So for me, that is honesty. But let us say Ankur can say, no, for me, honesty means actually being honest. It is my cheat day. It was not my cheat day. And I ate ice cream. So actually, I was dishonest to myself. For Ankur, that may be the honesty. So any other value related prompts, you can come up with multiple things. Let us say, what aspects of value you prefer? Do you want to judge that value, which we talked just now? Or you can list 4 or 5 values. Did you experience those things? Let us say hardworking, perseverance, patience, punctuality. These 4 values are important to you. Let us say, did you experience it yesterday? So then you are taking multiple values in your day to experience your day. Or beliefs associated with value. Why I feel that honesty is important. So what is my belief? You can talk in those terms also. So honesty will be just one value and people may come up with their belief around honesty or dishonesty. Basically, everything has an opposite also.
So Kanupriya, in a group setting, one of the things that I'm wondering, want to know is how do you set the context? Because not everybody will come with the same mindset of being open to reflect. Right? So it
Yeah.
can happen in a family setting, but when it goes to something like team settings, you did talk about creating a safe space, no judgment. But how do you kind of get that thing started, saying that, okay, we are going to do self-reflection, and is there any script or is there any anything like to get started on that?
No, Kumar, it's a very interesting question. I don't, actually, I have done in all kind of settings, self-reflection, be it with team or be it with family. What happens is we have to start small. That is one. Second, you have to make it fun process. And through fun process, you have to inculcate that habit of reflection that, um, that it is a safe space and we are not judging anyone, especially in the outside world, because it may happen that people feel today I am getting open, but tomorrow it may be used against me.
Yeah.
So that is something, the person who is organizing this, they have to make the trust bridge. That come what may, it is a safe space and it is just for the person to understand themselves. And if what I did with one team at least, where I felt that people were not feeling safe, I just told, don't share anything in the group. We were creating reflecting prompts and they were writing on their own through the how, whatever we decided as a group. They were not sharing, which was fine, because here we are not sitting to see each other. Here we are sitting to see ourselves.
Okay.
So what happened with me, at least with that specific team, I remember so well, that after 2 or 2.5 months, people started becoming comfortable. If not always, they would say that, okay, this is what I had written and this is where I had difficulty. And none of us, commented on anything.
Interesting. Thank you.
So not sharing becomes very helpful because people hesitate initially, but eventually it comes to them once they feel that, okay, it is okay to share. In fact, you will find lot of resistance within family if you start. Lot of resistance. And that is why you have to keep it very generic. One. Second, keep it very light. Don't take too many things, especially when children are there. Because children are very sensitive to open up, especially for the things where they know they are not good at. So try with your family first. And what I can do, I can send some of the reflective prompts in the group which we are using as a family. See if you want to build around it, just to give an idea.
Okay.
Okay. And I can send the how parts also, various how parts, how we are using it. And examples of, okay, whenever we doodled or whenever we, in fact, puppet also, what we did at times, we don't have the real puppets actually. So either we use soft toys or we draw a little smiley on our, or a frowny on our fingers. And then just we move the fingers as a puppet. So what happened? Children feel very excited about it. Then they open up. But if you tell them, okay, write about it better, and then they just run away from the process. So process is not important. Important is, can I look at myself in a deeper way? Second interesting part, take very, different ways of how. Let us say dance. Okay. So dance, we elders may hesitate initially. कि अरे यार मुझे डांस करना पड़ेगा सबके सामने. Okay, don't do the dance. So what we did last week is the reflective prompt for us was easy, difficult. Okay. Easy and difficult. So what was easy for me? What was difficult for me? And how part was dance. Basically, how I do the reflection was dance. So of course, few people were not willing to dance. So what we did, we took a dance clip from YouTube, and through that clip, we expressed, okay, this step for me, it was difficult. So I associated with, some of the tasks which I found difficult during the day. So that can also be done for the people who are not comfortable dancing. But at least between me and my son, what we did, we took two things. One from, let us say, Hakuna Matata. Okay. So anything easy, we will do Hakuna Matata step. And throughout the day, so this was an ongoing reflection for us for the day. So it was not for the previous day, or it was not like I will observe myself during the day, but it was ongoing. So whenever I felt easy, I did Hakuna Matata action. It was so much of fun during the day. It was so much of fun. My child actually giggled throughout the day. But then it was making him aware that what he was finding easy and what he was finding difficult or medium difficult.
Interesting.
Okay. So that is one. And one more thing I just wanted to share. Let me see if I missed any. Yeah, I think I'm done for most things. Few prompts I had kept, but I'll send them in the group. So let's not put time on that right now.
Okay.
Kanupriya, one question I have.
Uh-huh.
So can like in a group session, there could be multiple prompts, or you need to decide one prompt for the entire group.
It is better if you keep it little restricted, Ankur, and it depends on the type of prompt. So let us say we are talking about the values, right? Just now we talk. So values, we can take 3 or 4 values and we can observe. Okay. So that we can do because whole day we don't do just one value. Right? We don't go through the just one value, or like easy and difficult. We don't go through easy and difficult. I mean, only easy thing or difficult thing throughout the day. Okay. But let us say so here you are keeping multiple things, but not too many things which we keep on forgetting. Just take 2 or 3 things and focus on them. So never overclutter your prompts. That would, at least till the time you don't get very comfortable with reflection. Don't clutter it. Keep it very, very simple.
Kanupriya, can you help with some of the prompts that you have tried? Like one you said easy and difficult.
Yeah. So let us say another prompt. I told you about this 2, 3 prompts I told you, right? Excitement. What excites me? So this is something I'm designing in advance. Okay. So let us say the wheel we saw, if you are using the wheel and wheel stops at excitement.
Okay.
Okay. So today's thing or prompt will be excitement. Now it is not a reflective prompt. Excitement itself doesn't tell anything. So you said podcasts. So actually thoughts, I would say, or anything, sound somebody said, right? Or which sounds excite me. Okay. For Kanupriya, let us say doing excites me. So what kind of doing excites me? Sketchnoting excites me, cooking excites me. Right? So everybody has to define their excitement and then define their own prompt. So Kumar has defined his own prompt as podcast excites me. Now Kumar can whole day observe which kind of podcast excite me. Is it just work related, or is it just health related? In health related, which aspect of health? So he can be just aware. For Ankur, it was, or for anyone who was saying music, if it was music which excites him, which part of music excites him? Is it just vocal? Is it just instrumental? Is lyrics part of music excites, or other countries' music, or he wants to explore the new music? What excites you in music? And for Kanupriya, as I gave example, let us say cooking excites me. So what part of cooking excites me? So when excitement comes as a prompt, you have to define your own reflective prompts. This will be a single prompt for the day. So this becomes interesting because usually we do reflection by going back. Here, we are defining it now, and now we will observe ourselves on this parameter. And by the end of the day or by the end of the week, whatever frequency you have defined, based on that, you will use any of these tools to rate or to grade or whatever.
Oh, interesting. So we are just approaching towards the end of the session.
Yeah.
A few minutes to go, but can we take like 5 minutes and put this thing into practice if everybody is fine, and maybe making this as a safe space? You can start with the prompt, Kanupriya, and then we can reflect ourselves maybe right now or throughout the day.
Okay, so let us say, wait, let me think something which we can do as a group. Okay, add and remove is the prompt. Okay, add and remove. And today, just for this demo purpose, I'm making it specific as a habit. Add and remove habit.
Okay, so add and remove is the prompt.
Yes. And for me, it is habit, let us say. But for a group also, we will keep it as a habit today.
Okay.
Let us say, so that it becomes easier for everyone to connect. Nothing else. But you can change that, okay? So let us say Naveen can say, add and remove distractions. I mean, remove distraction, add more focus. So how he will do that, Naveen will decide. But I am just telling habit for now. So which habit you want to add for today and which one you want to remove for today? You don't have to do it actually. Please remember that. Just be aware that this is what you thought. If you can do it, then in the night you can write or you can express in whatever way. Okay, this is what I did today. So let us say Kanupriya is saying, habit I want to add to observe my belief around honesty. I want to add.
Okay.
And one thing I want to remove is too finicky about cleanliness. So that is something I want to observe myself on today.
Okay, and when I'm still figuring out the how part. Like whenever I observe that I'm being, let's say, too finicky about cleanliness, is there something that I should do, or is that
No, don't associate it with doing. Just observe. Were you being too finicky about cleanliness? So you will observe yourself today. Let us say, okay, I was really irritated at that time. So what happens, let us say, for me, if I find sink dirty, I get mad. It is actually boils me from inside. So I will just observe myself. Was I getting mad?
Okay, because
Nothing.
I'm trying to associate this with this thing has registered in my mind, which is Hakuna Matata. Like whenever it was easy, that dance was done. Was it that, or was it like?
No. So I will tell you. So that was one way of doing it, which is ongoing reflection. Throughout the day, you are reflecting. Here, you're not doing ongoing. Okay. So what you can do, either you can have, if you really, the problem is na, Kumar, we try to associate everything with result. Okay. So let us say, if you want to associate it with the how part, and or you want to use a tool, keep a rubric ready. Okay, I got mad, just check it there. If you want to associate it with result. But for me, because I have become very habitual, it will just register in my mind, okay, I was mad at that time. And I just left it few times. So in the end of the day, if I want to express myself, let us say, I would take some other medium this time. I want say, which medium? Role play, let us say. Okay. So me and my husband, let us say if he is leaving the sink dirty and I'm Kanupriya, I don't want sink dirty and I got mad. My husband will do my role play. If
Okay.
role play is the how part.
All right.
So he will tell me, okay, throughout, because this thing prompt we design in the morning and everybody knows it, or previous day and everybody knows it. So my husband will also notice me, right? That, okay, Kanupriya's prompt is this. And he may play the role in the evening that, okay, this is what you did. And I can't question him. I'm not judging him. It is his perception of me. And if I have to do the role play of my child, so of he getting mad at few things, I will just do the role play. That will be the how part, Kumar.
Okay.
Is it clear or is it still confusing?
I'm curious to know more about these things. Maybe this time may not be enough to kind of understand unless I put this into practice. Maybe.
Yeah, what we can do now, if everybody is comfortable, we can meet one more week and we can create few prompts and we can use it with some how tools and take it to your family for a week and see how does it work. We can do that in real life. I mean, as an example.
I would love to do that.
So basically we will create, let us say 6 or 7 prompts with how part. One we will play at that moment during our session. Remaining 6 or 7 you can take home and do it with family and then see how do you work as a group.
Yep, sounds great.
So I'm okay with next Saturday, same time.
All right, over to others. What do you think?
I think this is interesting. Like planning the entire thing will be beneficial. But Kanupriya, we need to educate more on this particular subject. I think how to plan the entire thing, that is something also need to do. So maybe uh, individually we have to do that, understand this more before jumping onto that the next call, right? So I think that is something I'm planning for myself, like reading more about it, so that I know what and how I need to do it.
So Ankur, if I understand you right, you are saying before jumping to the next activity, you would like to understand it more. Is that what you are telling?
Yes, yes.
I think that
How
would
can I
be,
educate myself on that?
So I think that would be better done when we do it actually or practically.
Okay, got it.
Because then with the examples, we will get clarity.
Correct. Agree.
Because
Agree.
it's mainly about, it is not about understanding the reflection. It is about designing the reflection now.
Okay.
Right? So once we actually design as a group and we discuss those reflections here and we take, let us say 1 week a prompt ready with us to our family and we do it, then we can share our sharings in the group.
True. Fine with me. I am even excited about it. So we can
but
do
if
it.
if you have any specific question, Ankur, you can post it in the group and we can take it from there. Not a problem. About reflection, design the reflection, don't worry, we can take it up.
Okay.
Cool. Do share those resources, especially that wheel, Kanupriya.
I'm sharing.
Can be a good starter for all of us.
So I'll share the how part also of the wheel. And so there will be 2 wheels basically, one for the prompt and one for the how part. So that it is nobody's choice, because elders, what they do, they take the journaling, meditation, only those kind of prompts. But when the wheel selects, it is nobody's choice and wheel has multiple choices.
Great. I'll stop recording over here and